Today, we're going to share with you the tips, tricks, and skills you need to have in sales and marketing to propel your business to the next level. Our special guest today has worked with hundreds of speakers, consultants, and executives to help them create amazing results, and he's going to share some of his best stuff with us today. Hi, I am Tim Fitzpatrick with Rialto Marketing, where we believe marketing shouldn't be difficult. All you need is the right plan. I want to thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. I am super excited to have with me today David Newman from Do It Marketing. David, thanks so much for joining me, man. I really appreciate it.
Tim, it is great to be here in the big blue box. I mean, look at this place. This is awesome.
That's right. Yeah. Gosh, it's kind of three-dimensional, right?
Yes.
So thank you so much for taking the time. I know you've been in this business for a long time. And every time I chat with marketers like yourself, I always learn something myself. So I have been looking forward to this conversation. Before we jump into it, I want to ask you some rapid fire questions. Just help us get to know you a little bit better. You ready to jump into this?
I'm ready for the hot seat, my friend.
Okay, awesome. So when you're not working, how do you like to spend your time?
Playing old school video games. Atari, Space Invaders, Asteroids, Pac-Man.
Okay. So one of my favorites is Galaga.
Yes.
Yeah, okay. Awesome. I love it. What's your hidden talent?
You and I are on a desert island. I've got my phone. I'm the guy that you want yelping. Yelp is my secret talent. I will find the best restaurant even on a desert island, which you might not think is hard, but it could be.
Okay. What's the best piece of advice you've ever been given?
This is profound, and it truly is. I thought about this ahead of time. Be expensive or be free.
Okay. Be expensive or be free. There's no middle ground. I love it. What's one thing about you that surprises people?
It really shocks the heck out of people that I'm actually an introvert.
Okay. Yeah. You and me both, right? You don't have to be an extrovert to get out and speak to people.
Right.
What does success mean to you?
I think success is about freedom to how you spend your time, freedom of, your day, your week, your month. If you can do most days what you want, I would say that's a great definition of freedom.
Cool. Where's your happy place?
Ocean City, New Jersey.
Ocean City.
So, family, little beachfront vacation house that we rent almost every year. We missed last year, but other than that, it's just great. Really fantastic. Totally mind-cleansing experience.
Ocean City. I can say I've never been there, but I will put it on my list.
Yeah.
What qualities do you value in the people with whom you spend time?
Humor and humility.
Very good.
In just the right amounts.
Yes. I love it. So before we start talking sales, marketing, share with us a little bit more about what you're doing at Do It Marketing, types of clients you're working with, how you're helping them.
Sure. So we're really a mentoring and coaching company, and we work with thought-leading entrepreneurs and executives, which means we end up working with a lot of speakers, trainers, coaches, consultants, executives who are speaking on behalf of their company, maybe some executives that are thinking of making the entrepreneurial leap and going out on their own as a consultant under their own personal brand. And we help them with everything from marketing, messaging, packaging, pricing, strategy, how to market their smarts and how to monetize their expertise.
Very cool. So do you coach like through specific programs? What do those look like?
Yeah, we do. So we have our three main anchor programs. The first one is called the Expert Profit Formula, and that's sort of our baseline boot camp that we invite everyone to kind of jump in with. Then we have 2-year-long programs. One is for folks that are not quite at the 6-figure mark yet. And that program is called our Marketing Business Accelerator, or Do It MBA program. And then for folks that are well above 300K, kind of the next quantum leap up from there, we have our program called the Platinum Council, which is much more of a sort of inner circle, mastermind kind of private consulting with me. Got it.
Very cool. So a lot of group coaching calls. Is there one-on-one involved in it?
There's a lot. So it's a great question. The entry-level program is mainly a digital program with some coaching and mentoring from the team. The MBA program is mostly coaching and mentoring with some access to digital resources as needed. And then the highest level program, me 24/7 on demand, speed dial. It's the David on Call program, and I call it my scalable one-on-one. So it's not one-on-one because they also can tap into each other, but any one of those clients get the same privileges and the same access as my private one-on-one clients.
So it's kind of David Newman in your pocket.
David Newman in your pocket. That's its new name, Tim. Thank you. That's what we're calling it from now on. Newman in your pocket.
There you go. Awesome. So one of the things that I find so many people struggling with when it comes to marketing is just information overload. There's so many different channels, so many different tactics at this point. People just don't know where to start. And there's no shortage of tips and tricks out there. But I find that a lot of the people that are disseminating these tips and tricks don't even do these things themselves. They're not practitioners. And I know that you are a practitioner. You practice what you preach. Can you share with us some of your best tips on marketing and selling to grow your business?
For sure. Well, I think partly it's a lot of the things that you said. And I know that when I had you on our show, you were dropping all kinds of value bombs and knowledge bombs on people. But I'm happy to do the same for your audience because They can hear it from you. They can hear it from me. It never hurts to hear it again.
That's right.
I think you need now more than ever to really understand the answer to two key questions. Key question number one, what problems do you solve?
Yeah.
Key question number two, what people do you serve? If you were squishy or vague or uncertain about that before, you could get away with some stuff. You could wing it. You could, even a blind squirrel occasionally finds a nut. In this environment, I'm another value bomb on folks. Experts win on value and generalists die on price. The age of the generalist service professional, I think, is over. We all need to declare our target market, our niche, our specific expertise, answering those two questions, right? What problems do you solve and what people do you serve? And then really drilling in to the value, the impact, the results, and the outcomes that you create that either solve a problem they already know they have, because you don't want to make two sales, right? It's like, number one, I have to sell you on, oh, Tim, you have a problem. Number two, oh, Tim, I have the best solution to your problem. You want to make one sale, not two sales with every conversation that you have. And the second thing is you want to have spreadability. You want one happy, satisfied client or customer to be able to say in one sentence or maybe two, but I like one sentence better, exactly why you're awesome and why all of their friends, all of their colleagues, all of their fellow business owners need to do business with you. If your message isn't sharp, your message isn't clear, then your message is not going to be spreadable. It's not going to be spreadable. It's not going to be shareable. And then think about all the things that you just mentioned, Tim, all the social media. Oh, you got to be on LinkedIn. You got to be on Clubhouse. You got to be on Facebook. You got to be on Snapchat. What you're doing, if you have not answered those two foundational questions, is you are now amplifying confusion. You are spreading, you're spreading vagueness.
Yeah.
And so this is where people would come to you, Tim, and say, Tim, we're doing all this social media. We're tweeting our brains out. We're constantly uploading videos to Facebook, and we're not getting any traction. And then you would typically look at these videos and go, well, you're talking to different people about different problems in every single one of these videos. There's no repetition. There's no reinforcement. There's no clarity. There's no concise message that you're driving home over and over and over again with consistency. So someone who watches you on Monday might tune in again on Wednesday and say, oh, I didn't know that's what they did. I thought they did something else when I watched their video on Monday.
Yeah.
So it's this constant churning of different messaging and different value props and different, we're trying to throw all kinds of spaghetti against the wall. And what we need to do is go back into the kitchen. And I know this is where your genius comes in. Go back into the kitchen and build a much better recipe, AKA a marketing plan that is really an implementation plan that gets you on track and keeps you on track to get the right kinds of clients to knock on your door.
Yeah. So when we look at what people you're going to serve, I know there are varying schools of thought here, and I'm curious to get your opinion on it, is how narrow do we need to go? There are some people that say, you need to go super narrow. I'm the coach for, whatever, heating and air conditioning contractors.
Left-handed. Left-handed.
Yes. And then there are others who say, you know what, that you can go that deep, but you could just be the, coach to home service businesses. What are your thoughts on that? How narrow do we need to go?
So fantastic. So I think the magic here is specificity with versatility. And one of the taglines or positioning statements that I think will be immediately recognizable to almost everybody is, for years and years, Inc. magazine, right under the masthead on the cover of every issue, it said the magazine for growing companies. And that was so fantastic because growing companies, you could use that either as an adjective or as a verb, right? It's the magazine for growing companies, or it's the magazine for growing companies, right? To help you grow a company. You can be a $100,000 business and you consider yourself a growing company. You can be $1 billion business and consider yourself a growing company. So when I say specificity with versatility, it's that kind of language. Right? It's that kind of language that it's interpreted by your target buyer as, oh, they're talking to me. This is my kind of problem. This is my kind of goal. This is my kind of aspiration. So should you be specific? Like, this is only for companies between $1 and $7 million who want to get to 20. You don't need to do that, because if you have the specificity with the versatility dialed in, people will start to raise their hand. People will start to self-identify. Oh my gosh, Tim is talking to me. Tim works with people like me. Tim works with people that have my kind of problem, my kind of situation. So when we say, for example, we work with thought-leading executives and entrepreneurs, clearly there are some executives where this term thought leader or thought leading would never even enter their minds, right? Hey, I'm a CEO of a manufacturing company. I make stuff. I'm not a thought leader. Don't want to be a thought leader. It's not my thing. On the other hand, we've had real estate agents, we've had accountants, we've had estate planning attorneys who were not speakers, coaches, or consultants at all, but they wanted to embrace thought leadership marketing as the vehicle to get them where they wanted to go. Meaning they wanted to speak, they wanted to publish, they wanted to host events, they wanted to position themselves as that thought leader. So I could say, we only work with full-time consultants and coaches, but that would have left off the realtor and the estate planning attorney and the accounting firm owner. So when I say we work with thought leading experts and entrepreneurs, if that resonates with people, they go, oh man, this is what I've been looking for. Or they go, I have no idea what he's talking about. This guy's clearly not for me. So that's what I mean by specificity with versatility. Let your target audience raise their hand and say, oh my gosh, he or she is talking my language.
Yeah. So as long as they're saying to themselves, he's talking to me, that's resonating and it's specific enough.
Right.
Because the other thing that I would add this too is, I love this thought of specificity with versatility. It's also diversification. And if anything over the last year has taught us anything, diversification in your client base or customer base is critical. I mean, there are businesses that were in the wrong verticals that just went out overnight. And personally, I don't want to see that for anybody. So specificity with versatility. I love it. Do not forget that. That is a value bomb right there. So one of the challenges I think a lot of us have as business owners is we feel like we've got to have all these different skills. I've got to have my hands in all these different aspects of my business, which really isn't realistic. So what areas of business or skills do you believe are most important for entrepreneurs and business owners? What are those 20% that's going to give us 80% of the results?
I would say, Tim, they fall into two categories. Category number one is an acronym that I sometimes teach called SEDO, SEDO, simplify, eliminate, delegate, and outsource.
Okay.
So if you're the business owner, there's a whole bunch of things that your company needs to do that you should not touch with a 10-foot pole.
Yes.
There are other things that you really cannot delegate or outsource to somebody else. So think about, what are you uniquely positioned to do or uniquely qualified to do that can only come from you? So for example, if you decide, hey, we should have a webinar strategy, it should be you, the business owner, that leads that webinar. That's not really something you can outsource. Like, hey, Tim, can you just do my webinar for me?
Yeah, right.
Can you be the person who speaks on the webinar? No, of course not. Because that builds trust, that builds connection, that builds relationship with your target market. When you're teaching them and you're sharing a little bit of your personality, you can't outsource a webinar. Can you outsource social media? Yes. Can you outsource content marketing? Yes. Can you outsource your website? Hell yes. Can you outsource your search engine optimization? Yes. Should you be learning all of these things? Anytime that a client comes to me and says, well, David, I'm learning how to fix my website. I'm learning how to do this. I'm learning how to do that. I'm like, no. Simplify, eliminate, delegate, outsource. As far as the things that you should be doing, I think the skills that every small business owner needs are in fact the skills of thought leadership. Does that mean that you have to become a professional speaker and get paid $10,000 to be on someone's virtual stage? No. Does it mean that you need to be the best messenger of your company's message? Yes. Does it mean that you should be doing webinars and live streams and teaching videos and helping videos to showcase your expertise and to draw people to you? Yes. So I think adopting and adapting the skills and the strategies from the quote unquote professional speaker, trainer, consultant's playbook, that sort of knowledge sharing, that sort of community building, that sort of kind of gathering people under your tent. In the Do It Marketing book, I have a chapter, wrong way. In the Do It Marketing book, I have a chapter called Build the Tribe Before the Tent. And what that means is gather your community around your expertise before you give them something to buy, right? So the tent is, hey, come in and buy my thing. Hire our company, buy our products, buy our services, give us money. That's the tent. Yep. A lot of people try and build the tent and then they wonder, well, where's the crowd? How come no one's buying this thing? How come no one knows who we are? How come we're not getting the traction that we thought we were going to get? Because you didn't build the tribe, you didn't build the following, you didn't build the community through trust, through value, through conversation, and through connection, where people are actually eager to buy from you long before you have anything to sell.
Yeah.
So this is, this is sort of the Seth Godin tribe building mantra. And the way Seth talks about it, he talks about it lots of ways in his book, of course, called Tribes. But one of the things he says is a lot of authors make this mistake. A lot of authors say, I'm going to write a book and then I'm going to go find some readers who want to read my book. And Seth goes, no. Find your group of readers and start writing books for them.
Yeah.
And I would say take out writing books, substitute in providing products and services, right? That's the business that we're in as entrepreneurs and as small business owners. Tap into an audience that already knows they have a problem. Tap into an audience that is already seeking solutions. Tap into an audience that's able to pay, eager to pay, willing to pay, and expecting to pay premium fees, and figure out, what do they want? What do they need? What do they want to be or do or learn or become? And come up with the products and services and programs that will help them be, do, learn, or become what they already know they want to be, do, learn, and become. That way, your products and your programs and your services, they are bought and they do not need to be sold. They don't need to be pushed or crammed down people's throats in a very salesy, pushy, weird, pressury kind of way. You want to basically build the tribe before the tent, open up the tent, and people flood in because they want to.
So if we're putting out the right type of information to that audience, if I understand what you're saying correctly, we really shouldn't have to quote unquote sell or close. They already know that they want it and they're raising their hand.
Exactly right. I call this the GNW factor. And in my webinars, I sometimes have a picture of BMW that says, if you want to drive the BMW, you have to master the GNW. GNW is, of course, an acronym exactly to what you're saying here, Tim. They get it. They need it. They want it. Right? So number one, they get it. There's a sense of understanding. Okay, I know what this is. I know what problem this solves. I need that, meaning I recognize myself as having this problem. Now, a lot of times we don't buy what we need, right? We don't buy broccoli. We go to the store and we end up buying like the 6-pack of brownies.
Yeah.
So that's where the third layer is, ooh, I want that. Tim, that sounds really cool. That's what I want. So intellectually, I get it, right? Sort of a emotional basis, right? I go, ooh, okay, that's something that I need. But then what really kind of kicks in is this sense of desire.
Yeah.
Like, ooh, I want that outcome, or I want to solve that problem. I want to be in that ultimate end condition. So when I said value, impact, results, and outcomes, we're really in the outcomes business. We're not in the service business. We're not in the product business. We're not in the program business. We are in the what's the ultimate destination of what that person's life or business or career or family or finances or whatever area we help them with. What does that look like when we've left the building?
Yeah.
And are we talking about that early and often, saying this is the kind of transformation that we provide? And, advertising legend David Ogilvy once said that if you're going to sell fire extinguishers, you first need to show the fire. Yeah. So what's the problem? What's the gap? What's the situation that your clients are in now? And then let's take them down that journey. Here's what it could look like if you solve that problem. And that's when they start to come to you and they're ready to buy. They're more ready to buy than if you were pushing or selling or striving or pressuring them.
So when you paint the picture of what that outcome is like and they start to buy into that, it almost becomes part of their identity, right? That transformation is going to be their identity at the end. When you have people that get to that place and they've bought into it, it's over. They're going to buy.
Completely agree.
Okay, cool. So last year, obviously, things shifted for all of us, right? Some a little bit differently than others, but so many businesses had to shift. How do you feel this year is going to be different than the last when it comes to marketing and promotion and selling, or is it going to be kind of the same? Where is that at?
No, I think there's some profound shifts. And part of it is what we just talked about resonating with your current clients' current problems. One of the mantras, and I'm not sure, I wish I could attribute this quote. I've looked high and low. If one of our viewers can help me out here, this would be great. But it's a profound quote. A bend in the road is never the end unless you fail to turn. Think about that. Bend in the road, and 2020 was the biggest bend in the road we could have possibly imagined. A bend in the road is never the end unless you fail to turn. And a lot of companies and a lot of businesses crashed into that retainer wall. They just went from hero to zero, which is not the way that you want to go. Yeah. And business came to a screeching halt. I think to get to, kind of renaissance that, if you will, I think we really have to double down and figure out what do our clients and prospects want to buy. Forget about what you have to sell, and forget about what you used to sell, and forget about what you want to sell. If you can dial in, figure out what do people want to buy today in this environment, in this circumstance, in this moment right now, your business will have a profound improvement so fast your head will probably spin. But what does that mean? That means letting go of the way that you used to think about marketing, letting go of all the old school busy work nonsense that doesn't work anymore, and working with someone like Tim, frankly, who can get you the plan, get you the roadmap, the GPS, the compass, and light the fuse under your chair to say, we are going to get there faster, safer, smoother, and smarter than you trying to wing it or figure it out or guess or hit every dead end and every brick wall that's in your way. So this needs to be more mindful. It needs to be more intentional. It needs to be more proactive. Even before the pandemic, I always told people, I said, waiting for the phone to ring, not a great marketing strategy, really not effective. Now, waiting for the phone to ring, you're out of business. You're out of business. So you need to open more conversations. And one of my favorite quotes that I do have the attribution to is Dr. Richard Carlson, who's the Don't Sweat the Small Stuff guy. Okay. He wrote all those Don't Sweat the Small Stuff books. He said, rather than try and bang down every door, focus on the doors that open when you knock. Rather than try and bang down every door, just focus on the doors that open when you knock. I love that for so many reasons. Number one, you got to knock. Number two, you got to know which doors to knock on. Number three, you do not want to let rejection get you down, right? If what you do is for everybody, we already talked about that. Not true. And you're probably in the wrong business if it is true. So more selective, more targeted, more focused, more niched is going to get you a lot more doors that open when you knock. I think that's how marketing is going to be different in 2021 and beyond, is we need to be more responsive, we need to be more proactive, and we need to be more buyer-centric.
Got it. How would you recommend so we need to double down on what people want to buy today. What are some of the ways that you recommend people figure out what it is people want to buy today?
I think we have to have a lot more casual, non-selling conversations with clients, past clients, prospects. We need to have more info sessions. We need to have more fireside chats. We need to fire up a Zoom chat and say, hey, we'd love to talk to you about problem X. There is nothing for sale. There is no offer. There is no pitch here. It's a client focus group. It's a client strategy session. You're going to tap into what your fellow whatever business owners, executives, whoever you market to, right, what they're going through and their best ideas and their recommendations. So you start hosting these roundtables, and you will hear, if you ask the right questions, you will hear such an earful of on the street, emotional, vernacular, plain English. Here's what we're up against. Here's what we love. Here's what we hate. Here's what we used to buy. Here's what we're buying now. Here's the way things used to be in the company. Here's how things are now in the company. Here's what I'm really concerned about. Here's what I'm not concerned about at all anymore. Here is our big strategic initiative for 2021 and 2022. Here is what is no longer important to us in any way, shape, or form. You will get such an education. Literally talk to 10 past clients, current clients, or clients who have said no to you in the past, prospects who have said no to you in the past. Get them together on a Zoom call, 30 minutes or less, make it really a light ask. Don't make it a big, heavy duty thing, and go in with maybe 6 questions and watch that conversation unfold. You will learn more in that 30 minutes than you did in the last 12 months of sitting behind your desk, scratching your head.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so oftentimes when we talk about messaging, it's like we have a hard time creating strong messaging as business owners because we can't see the forest through the trees. Right. But when we talk to our customers, they can articulate our value so much more clearly than we can ourselves. So right. I love it. So get people together, ask the right questions, and you will get the answers that you are looking for.
Yeah.
I love it. You've dropped some serious value, David. Any last minute words of wisdom you'd like to share?
Yeah, I'll leave you with one more mantra that has gotten me through some pretty dark times. Action eliminates fear. No big surprise there from the do it guy, right? Do it marketing, etc. We're big believers in action and implementation, but really action eliminates fear. if you're suffering with fear, uncertainty, where's my business going? What products and services should I offer? Where is my market gone? What kind of shifts are happening out there? Do something.
Yes.
Do something. Ask some clients, ask some prospects, get into some intelligent action, get some data. And based on that data, your fear will immediately subside.
Awesome. So there's no doubt that you know what you're talking about. We talked about David's programs in the beginning. He's got 3 different coaching programs that you guys can take advantage of. Reach out to David. I know that he can help you if you're looking for a coaching relationship. He's got some great programs. But you've also got something else if people just kind of want to dip their toe in the water, right?
Totally.
So where can people go to get that?
So it's the Do It Marketing Manifesto, and the URL is, of course, right here, doitmarketing.com/manifesto. That is a PDF that's put out by 800 CEO Read, now Porchlight Books, but they did a manifesto when my Do It Marketing book came out. There's also a different manifesto for folks that are interested in speaking, which is the Do It Speaking Manifesto. But this manifesto here is 1/3 marketing, 1/3 sales, and 1/3 mindset. So it's exactly what the doctor ordered. And I challenge you to download that, read a few pages of it. It's all big, bold, visual, lots of, white space. And I challenge you to have the same kind of day or the same kind of week that you did when you started dipping into it. So it's going to give you kind of a supercharged energy shot of marketing, sales, and revenue growth excitement. And that's at doitmarketing.com/manifesto.
Awesome. And what, share our books with you as well, with us as well.
Sure. So
right?
the first book is, I keep pointing the wrong way. This book is the Do It Marketing book, which is really kind of a small business marketing handbook, focusing on thought leadership marketing and doing some of the things that Tim and I talked about here today. And then my second book called Do It Speaking is specifically about how to use speaking as the ultimate marketing strategy and the ultimate sales tool, the ultimate one-to-many sales tool. And of course, it was written pre-pandemic, but you know what? Speaking is now virtual. Speaking is doing fantastic things like this on podcasts and live streams and videos and webinars. All the strategies apply even to our virtual world.
Yeah, I think so many people think of speaking and they think they've got to be up on stage, and that's not the case at all. There's all kinds of speaking opportunities. So, which speaking is one of the best ways to generate leads for thought leaders and professionals. So totally agree. David, thank you so much for taking the time. You shared a ton of knowledge with us here today, and I really do appreciate that. We're gonna tune it on out here today, but if you want to gain clarity on where to focus your marketing efforts right now to get the best return, hop on over to our website at rialtomarketing.com. That's RIALTO marketing.com. Click on the Get a Free Consult button, and we'll be happy to chat with you and hope you gain some clarity and push through those roadblocks that you have. So thank you so much for taking the time to tune in. Thank you, David. Until next time, take care.